Rahim, Assalamu alaikum dear students. This is Tariq Amin, lecturer, Department of English, Cohort, University of Science and Technology, Cohort. A very warm welcome to the course of study skills. This is video number 2 of the lecture number 28. And our today's topic is study time. Let's have a look at the lecture outlines of today's class. In today's class, we are going to read about time management and some skills for effective time management. And the skills are setting goals, prioritizing, organizing your time, keeping a to-do list, breaking down tasks, preserving, avoiding procrastination, delegate, get help from others, and at the very end of the class we will discuss avoid multitasking. Now let's start the class. The very first skill is setting goals. First of all, you need to set goals for your study. Now set yourself some specific goals and some specific clearly defined goals, and make sure that these are realistic. Your goals should be realistic and achievable and have an alternative routine. If your goals are not realistic, and it means that they are not achievable. If your goals are not achievable and not realistic, you might not be able to achieve those goals. You might not be able to attain those goals. So when you set your goals for yourself, your goals should be realistic and they should be achievable. Don't set goals for yourself that are not achievable. If they are not achievable, you will waste your time in achieving them, and at the very end you will not be able to achieve them and you will waste your time. That is why goals should be realistic and there should be alternative. And they should be achievable. The second one is prioritizing. We need to prioritize something in our lives as well. Some things are of most important to us and more importance to us, and some are not. Same is the case with study as well. In study, some material and some tasks are important and some are not. To be effective, you need to decide what tasks are urgent and important to focus on these. And to focus on these. So you should decide what tasks are urgent and important. For example, a teacher has given you an assignment and another teacher has given you a quiz. Now your assignment is on Monday and your quiz is on Friday. So it means that assignment is urgent. A time assignment is important and urgent. You should do it first, and after that you do have time for preparation for your quiz, and after that you can start preparation for your quiz. Both are important, but assignment is urgent. And another thing is that, for example, a teacher has given you an assignment and a quiz, and both are to be conducted on Monday. But assignment doesn't carry marks, whereas quiz carries marks. So quiz is more important. You should study for it more, and you should spare more time for it, and you should spare less time for your assignment, because you can do it at your home as well, and you should focus on your quiz. Skills for effective time management. Another one is organize your time. Now you have prioritized some task. Another skill is to organize time. Identify areas of your life, and a good way to do this is to log everything you do for a week. Identify areas of your life. First of all, you need to identify areas of your life. You might have different responsibilities in your life, and a good way to identify your life, your areas of your life, is to log everything you do for a week. And keeping a to-do list. To-do list is important. You should keep a to-do list with yourself always. You should have a reminder system to tell you You should have a reminder system to tell you of when you need to do, write down the things you need to do, list of important or not important, and urgent and non-urgent things. You should have a reminder system. For example, nowadays we do, all of us have our smartphones, and all of these smartphones have a reminder system. You can set a reminder for yourself. It will tell you when to do what things. Reminder, you can set reminder, and reminder tell you what things are to be done at what time. They remind you what things are important, which things are important, and which are not. They write down the things you need to do. Yes, you can write down your things on your cell phone that you have to do on this weekend. And list of, you can write a list of important or not important things, important and least important tasks. You can make a list, and urgent and non-urgent. Some tasks would be important, some would not be important. Some tasks would be urgent and some would not be urgent. I've given you the example of quiz and assignment, that quiz is important and assignments both are important, but assignment is urgent. And in the second example, I give you the example that both of these tasks are to be conducted on Monday. So both quiz carries marks, that is why it is more important. So you should make a list of everything you have to do on a weekend. Keeping a to-do list is important. Now, skills, the another one is breaking down tasks. You need to break down your task into smaller tasks. You have a larger task, so you can break it down into different smaller tasks. For example, break goals down into their components so that you can accomplish them one step at a time. For example, you have to achieve a long-term goal. Now, in order to achieve this long-term goal, you need to break this goal down into smaller goals, and with the help of these smaller goals, you would be able to achieve your long-term goals. So you need to break down your tasks, you need to break down your goals. You need to break down your tasks also. For example, you have to read you have to read a book that contains 10 chapters. Now, this is a larger task. This is a big task for you. It would be difficult for you to complete it at one point in time. It would be difficult for you to complete it in one time. That is why it is necessary for you to break this task down into smaller tasks. You can break down the book into 10 different chapters. You can read one chapter in one day. And when you do this, when you read one chapter per day, at the end of 10 days, day 10, you would have completed, you would have read all the book, you would have read the whole book. So you need to break down tasks. Another one is preserving. When things are not working out, you need to preserve and learn how to take positive attitude towards frustration and failure. Sometimes things are not working out. You try to perform a task, but you fail to do that. Similarly, sometimes you start reading a text, you start reading a chapter, but after some time, after 10 minutes or after an hour, you come to know that I'm not able to get it. It means that the things are not working out. Now, in this situation, you need to preserve, and you need to learn how to take positive attitude toward this frustration and failures. This occurs to everyone. Sometimes when we study, we feel that it is difficult for me to understand it. So you need to know and you need to learn how to deal with that situation. Now, avoid procrastination. Procrastination should be avoided when you have to perform different tasks. You should not procrastinate. Procrastination is the courage of action planning. Planning. You don't have the courage to perform tasks. You think again and again. You think every now and then, and you don't take action. It is important that you manage your fear of doing things. You should manage your everyone fears from doing the fears of doing things, but you should manage this fear of doing things you don't want to do, and realize that the fear is often far worse than the possible negative results. Yes, fear is far more worse than the possible negative result. For example, if you perform a task, it might have some negative result, but the fear has more but the fear, yes, this is fear. The fear has far worse results than the possible negative results. So you should not procrastinate. You should not uh, fear doing things, but you should take action. You should do different things. Delegate, get help from others. You can take help from others. You can take help from your classmates. You can take help from your friends, your brothers, sisters, and your parents and your teachers. You should take help from others. You should get help from others as well. Delegation means assigning responsibility for a task to someone else and identifying tasks that others can do and then selecting the appropriate person to do them. Sometimes we get a task, for example, some people assign us a task, but becomes highly difficult for us to do that task. It is difficult for us to do that task. Now, in such cases, we can assign this task to others as well. We can assign some of the part of the task to our friends. As for example, if we are three friends and our teacher has assigned us to make an assignment of 30 pages. Now this is a task, and we can take help from others. You can, for example, you can give 10 pages to one friend, 10 to another, and you can write 10 pages on your own. Now you need to identify tasks that others can do. In that very assignment, some parts would be important and some parts would not be important, and some would be some would be difficult and some would not be difficult, some would be easier. Now you need to identify that others can do. You need to identify that this task would be done by one friend and this task would be done by another friend. You should select appropriate person to do that. For example, you should assign the difficult part of the assignment to your friend that is weak, and you should assign the difficult task to the difficult part of the assignment to that friend who is intelligent, and the easiest part of the assignment to that friend who is not intelligent, who is a bit weak. So you can take help from others. This was just the example of study where you can take help from others. You can take help from others in performing other tasks as well. For example, you have to perform other daily life tasks. You can take help from others. You can assign different responsibilities for a task to some other friends, some other family members as well. Avoid multitasking. Multitasking should be avoided. You lose time when switching from one task to another. Multitasking should be avoided. You should do one task at a time. You should not perform many tasks at one time. Multitasking is not good because you lose time when switching from one task to another. At one time you perform one task and another time you perform another task, and in this switching you lose your time and resulting in a loss of productivity. So these were in today's class we discuss what is time, we discuss time management, and we discuss some of the skills for effective time management. We discussed that you should make timetable for your study. You should decide what you should prioritize, and that you should prioritize which tasks are important and what tasks are not important and what tasks are least important, and on the basis of their prioritization you should manage your time. You should allocate different timings to different tasks. For example, if you have to read a text of 10 pages, a text of 30 pages. Now you need to allocate different timing for it. And if you have to perform two tasks, as I have given an example, that for example you have to submit your assignment on Monday and you have to take a quiz on this on Friday. So assignment is urgent, you should prioritize it, you should do it first, and after that you should prepare yourself for your quiz. And you can take help from others as well, and you should avoid multitasking, because when you perform different tasks, multiple tasks during a single point in time, you lose time, you lose productivity. So this was all about today's class. Thank you very much for listening to the video. Allah Hafiz.